Hello friends and enemies, welcome back to Happy For Now. It's me, Isabel, here with a really fun video. I'm very excited about this. So, a thing I wanted to undertake, I'm literally in the shirt, like the perfect sweatshirt for it even. Like, I didn't plan this, but it just happened. So, the thing happening now in this video is going to be a fun time. I am going to reread Jujutsu, well, I'm going to rewatch Jujutsu Kaisen, and I'm going to be rereading the mangas as I do so. I will show you. I already have some of these downstairs, so I only have a few up here in my library still because I'm reading them. But I have tabbed up the volumes. I don't know how well y'all can see them, but they're tabs showing me where I need to stop to read. So like when I get to this part in volume 4, I will be watching the episodes for that arc. So we are going to start this journey of comparing the manga to the anime and see which one I prefer, which one I like. I've been trying to figure out if I like more shonen-y anime than I do manga, or where I fall on that scale, because I do read a variety of both titles, but I've never tried comparing, if that makes sense. Like I've never done like a straight up comparison. So I wanted to do that. We're going to start this journey with Jujutsu Kaisen 0 and the movie that just came out literally this week that I'm starting this project. So there's that. It's not going to take me very long to read through all of them and do this, to be honest with you, but I'm really excited about it. So I will have timestamps down below for you if you want to jump around to different arcs. If you are following along and maybe you're not as far in the series as I am, this will be a full rewatch of the anime for me, which is exciting, and I feel like it's perfect prep for whenever we get season 2. Which I'm not tracking because it's not how my brain works. So I usually just wait until we get the list of what's being simultaneously broadcasted from Japan to here, like within a pretty timely fashion usually. And then I look at it and I pick out what ones I want to watch. And then when like the show I've been watching comes back up, I'm like, oh yay. So that's just my brain. That's how I work, because I don't like to be disappointed when things get pushed. So we're gonna start this journey with the Cursed Child arc, and I'm gonna throw to myself talking about the anime, movie, and the manga. We'll see what I think of them, and then at the end I'm gonna give you a final opinion on if I think you should watch the anime or read the manga, or if both give value, or if they're basically like a page-for-page translation. I'm expecting a page-for-page translation, but I could be wrong. So yeah, let's go start the Cursed Child arc. I just finished Jujutsu Kaisen volume 0. So this is the prelude prologue situation. These are like the 4 chapters the author wrote before the serialization started happening for the mangas. And I have to say, I actually really enjoyed this. I thought this was a great little intro. Obviously I've already watched the anime, but I still enjoyed this story. I thought it was interesting getting some context around how curses kind of work a little more in depth in this, and it was just really fun. I'm excited to go watch the movie this evening, and I will update you on how I feel while I'm doing that. But for now, 4 stars for the volume 0, and I'm excited to start volume 1 as well. Alright, so we just watched Jujutsu Kaisen 0, and I feel like that was a very direct translation, besides for one particular fight scene that was not in the manga, but I did appreciate being in the movie. And currently I feel like this one you could go either way. I think you would benefit from reading it, like, but I also feel like you could just watch the movie and you'd be good. You don't necessarily need to read it. So yeah, I think this one's definitely a great addition to the storyline and the plot so far though, because it gives just like a little more context for things around the world. And I'm very curious to see where we're going. I really enjoyed our villain in this one. Kyoto was a really interesting villain. I liked him in the manga, and I really liked him in the movie. I also think the fight scenes always are a little bit better in the animes than the mangas sometimes, because I just think they just look good when they're all illustrated. But yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm giving the movie a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I gave the manga volume a 4 out of 5 stars, so they're like tied right now. Tomorrow I will be diving into volume 1 and 2 to watch and talk about the Fearsome, oh no, my brain, I said that weird. Anyways, next we will be talking about the Fearsome womb arc, which is going to be episodes 1 through 5 of the show and chapters 1 through 9 of the manga, which is volume 1 and a little bit of volume 2. So I will be back very soon to talk about those. I'm excited for this. I'm actually really enjoying reading it and then watching it. So hopefully it continues to be a good experience, but we'll see. So I finished the Fearsome womb arc, and I thought it was really fun because this is when we first meet everybody for the new series, and we really get a taste of everyone's abilities and things, and it was pretty much identical to what I remember the anime. Obviously I'm going to be rewatching it to refresh, but I did like seeing Divine Dogs drawn out because I feel like in the anime the hand motions are very quick, so it's kind of nice seeing it play out on the page. I am not going to be watching the anime until tomorrow, so I'm planning to probably read a little bit more of this night, but so far I really enjoyed that arc. I'm giving volume 1 4 stars. I think volume 2 is going to be 4 stars as well. I'm just kind of waiting for us to like fully pick up the story, if that makes sense. And I'm just waiting to see where we're going with the rest of this. But yeah, I think I'm going to read through until I get to, I think it'll be episode 8 or so that I'll have to watch tomorrow then. And I'll just keep reading the Cursed training arc, so I'm excited to see that. Like I said, I feel like we're like slowly getting into the story, into the plot. I feel like, again, it's pretty panel for panel to the anime. Like, I feel like you can match up most of them, so it'll be interesting to see where we are as I keep watching it. But yeah, that's my update tonight. If I finish, okay, I finished the last arc for tonight, which is the Cursed training arc, so we are on the 3rd arc now. I'm gonna watch the 9. I think I have 9. I have about 9 episodes to watch. Yeah, so I'm gonna watch 9 episodes of the anime tomorrow and compare. But I really, really like the Cursed training arc. I feel like we got some interesting details about how Gojo's magic works and Jujutsu powers in general, which I'm enjoying, and I feel like I'm able to follow it better so far in the manga than I was in the anime. So we'll see on my rewatch how I feel about that, if I feel like, you know, I notice more or not. But I'm gonna get ready for bed. And yeah, I have read a little chunk of volume 3, and I will finish this tomorrow, as well as go grab volume 4 to keep reading. I need to mark the rest of these up so I know where to stop. But yeah, we're getting there. This is fun. I'm enjoying this. I really do love the story in Jujutsu Kaisen a lot, and I'm really interested in it, so I'm excited to keep reading it and you know, just see what I think as I go. So I will talk to you all in the morning when I watch the next 2 arcs. So I will be watching the introduction to the Fearsome womb, or yeah, whatever, and like I'll be watching those 3. All right, y'all, I have watched episodes 1 through 8 of Jujutsu Kaisen. So I'm grouping these together because they're kind of 2 arcs, but kind of one. Everywhere listed a little different. So we're gonna call this the introduction and the Cursed training arc. So we're doing, or it's gonna be intro / Fearsome womb and Cursed training arc together. We're grouping all 8 of these episodes. I feel like they go together, and honestly, I just marathoned them. So far, I will say that I feel like the episodes are really good. Of course, I am really enjoying my rewatch of the anime. It's as good as I remember. I also really enjoyed reading it. So right now I'm pretty tied because it has followed everything pretty much to a T. I don't really think we've diverged in any capacity from the manga. So that's always interesting to me. And I don't know that we really are going to diverge from the manga at all in this, but you know, I think that's gonna make it an interesting conversation at the end when I'm done to say, you know, what's a better option, reading it or watching it? And I have a feeling it's gonna come down to a time thing. But yeah, I'm excited. I have to run a few errands and then I'm gonna come back and read the next set of chapters. But so far for these 2 arcs, I've really, really enjoyed them. I think they're really fun stories. I love our introduction to all the characters and how that plays out. I also think it's different watching this after having read and watched Zero, because Zero gave us an introduction to the second years a little bit more than we got previously, and to Gojo, and some setup for Geto. So that's interesting, and I'm also liking that added aspect, to be honest with you. I also honestly just love seeing the fight scenes animated. So for me, that's one of the biggest perks, and that's why I don't read a lot of shonen, because I really like watching it, because I like the animated fight scenes. But I love the story enough in Jujutsu Kaisen that I'm like, I need to read this also. I feel similarly about Demon Slayer. I'm going to be reading that at some point. But yeah, I'm really liking this and I'm really excited to keep going. I don't have a ton of thoughts about these first couple volumes. I do think this explains some of the like abilities better when it's animated and voiced over than it does in text. So that's interesting. But again, it's still pretty direct. Like, I feel like the script is pretty much almost line for line the manga. So that's always fun. And yeah, I'm just excited to see where we go. I will be back when I've read a little bit more. Hello. It is the next morning. I finished all my chapters last night for this little story arc on Jujutsu Kaisen, and I really liked this one. I think Mashito's an interesting villain. I think Geto's an interesting villain as well. I'm very curious to see where we're headed. I'm wrapped up in a blanket because it is so cold this morning. But I'm about to make my coffee and breakfast, and I'm gonna sit and watch a little bit of the anime. And I gotta get through these episodes 9 through 13 for this arc. So I'm excited for that. It's not as many as some of the other arcs are, at least, either. But yeah, I really liked this one. I think we continue to see Itadori develop and what his morals and standings are, as well as the fact that we get Nanami in this one. And I love Gojo, I love Nanami, not surprising. I am like every other girl. It's fine, and I like that. You know what? We all have good taste. My preference is more Gojo, but I still enjoy him. I think I showed y'all some clips. I know I filmed a couple clips of one of my favorites where he talks about like, I decided to pick the lesser evil between like an office job and being a jujutsu sorcerer. I was just like, yes, I feel this in my soul. Anyways, that's where we're at right now. I am gonna go make my coffee and eat some breakfast and watch hopefully at least a couple episodes, and then I will be back to talk to you about those when I'm done with them. And then the rest of today, I hopefully will have time to read a lot more chapters and maybe finish almost all of the show, but we'll see. Okay, so I just finished watching the verse Mashito arc, and I really love this arc. One, I love seeing Nanami in action on screen animated, and yeah, it just was a really fun time. I enjoyed it a lot. I think this is one of my favorite arcs, kind of. I do really like the Kyoto Goodwill event also, which is what I'm about to start reading, but I don't have a ton of thoughts on this arc. It's a really quick one because it's only a couple episodes, and I think it did a really good job like translating from the manga to the anime. Like it felt like I was just watching what I just read. But I got some stuff to do, and I will be reading a few chapters here and there of the next arc, which is Kyoto Goodwill event, while I get some things done, and then I will be back to talk to y'all about episodes 14 to 21 and chapters something to 54, 32 to 54. So shouldn't be too long, but yeah, I'm getting excited to like wrap up the story, I guess, that we have here, and then like continue reading the manga to get ahead of where we're at on the anime. I take everything back. I think the Kyoto school training event is my favorite arc so far. I really enjoyed reading it, and I'm very excited to watch it. That was just such a fun event. Like, I feel like you got to meet so many of the different characters and stuff, and it was really nice how that worked out. And yeah, I really liked it. I'm really excited to watch that one. And we're almost done. We have one more arc after this, which is the death painting arc, so we're very close to finishing, and then I'll give you my final thoughts. One of the strongest things about the Kyoto event thing, I think, is that we got to see all of the characters at the school, like all the first and second years, yeah, together, and see all their abilities in full force, because I think we haven't gotten that yet in the series, and I thought it was really interesting. For me at least, that's when I really love reading these mangas, is when like I'm getting a lot of characters at once. We're also through volume 6 now, which is pretty exciting, honestly. But yeah, I'm just excited to continue on to the death painting arc and be done. I have like chapter 64 to read once I watch these episodes, and then we'll be done. I will probably be in a different location when I wrap you up because I'm getting ready to go on a little trip, but I'll be done with this on the beginning of my trip, so I will want to update the vlog before I get back. But yeah, I I really enjoyed this. Like, I really liked this arc. I liked this arc when I first watched the anime, and I think I liked it even more reading it. So I feel like my rewatch is gonna be just as enjoyable, if not more enjoyable, than reading it was. I hope that makes sense. Anyways, we're gonna go watch the anime, and I will talk to ya in a bit when I have finished it, and then when I read Death Painting. So I just finished the Kyoto Goodwill event arc of the anime. And honestly, like, I'm really tied on the last 2 arcs being my favorite as far as Mashito and this one. I'm unsure, like, there are parts of both that I really just like. I also just like getting a new villain, I'm not gonna lie to you. So we are almost done with this journey, so that's exciting. I think my main takeaway is that I love battles when they're animated more than I like reading them in a book, which I feel like most people probably agree with me. I don't know. Somebody in the comments is gonna be like, no, I prefer reading it. So, like, I won't be surprised. But also, I don't know. I really like watching them versus reading it when it comes to that stuff. So, I am actually gonna go to bed in a minute and read the last few chapters. I have to read chapter 55 through 64, which is volume 8. And I'm just gonna finish, I think it's 8 or 9. I will correct myself on the screen, I'm sure. But I'm gonna finish that, and we'll watch the last few episodes in the morning. And I'm really excited about it. So I will talk to y'all then. But yeah, for now, I'm just really, we'll talk about it at the end. This has been great. I'm having a blast because I really do love this series so much. And it's getting me really hyped also for like when Chainsaw Man drops in October, because I've read a good chunk of that and I really, really like it. And I really am excited to see the adaptation for the anime. But anyways, we're gonna do that. I will talk to y'all in a bit. So I just finished the Death Painting arc from Jujutsu Kaisen, the anime part, and I really liked this one in animation. I think they did a really good job closing up this part of the story. And overall, it just was a good time still. It's a lot of fights. I always love fights animated. I feel like I've gone over that multiple times in this video already. But let's go ahead and talk about if I think you should watch the anime or read the manga or both, or how you should go about it. So I do kind of think that you could get away with just watching the first season of the anime and then picking up in the corresponding chapter in the manga, especially if you use the Viz app to read your shonens, because this was pretty much page for page. I don't think you're gonna miss anything if you watch through all of this and then read it and don't read the previous chapters. I think it would be a lot easier to do also for a lot of people to do it that way, but I know for one, I know for myself, I'm going to be continuing reading the series and be ahead of the anime because I really like the story and I really want to know where it goes, and I don't want to wait for the next season, which means picking up the manga. But it is nice to know that I could have rewatched the anime and just picked up the manga in the corresponding chapter that the anime ends on and been good to go. So I am really excited to keep reading the story, and I think for most people that's the way I would recommend going about it. If you're a completionist and you really want to read it and watch it, I think you'll benefit from it, and I don't think it's like a terrible experience by any means, but I do think it's easier to watch it and then pick up reading. And I do plan on reading through everything that's on the Viz app currently on this one and being caught up probably pretty soon because I really just need to know what's going on in the story. And I'm excited to find out more. I know we're up to like 17 or 18 volumes now. I think we're up to 17. I'm sure I'll correct myself on screen because I don't remember off the top of my head, but yeah. I really enjoyed this experience. Let me know if you've watched or read Jujutsu Kaisen, and if you have an anime / manga series you would like me to try this with again in the comments. And if you don't want to do that, leave me a devil emoji. I will have links to my friend everywhere on the internet, and I will talk to y'all again in just a few days. Bye.
Already packing, come with me. I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be, life with no distractions. We'll get